Most people enter their 30s still chasing what used to matter. They keep running after job titles, money, and validation because that's what they were taught success looks like. But somewhere in your 30s, that stops making sense. You'll start to notice that energy and time don't stretch the same way they used to, and every choice begins to carry more weight. You realize you can't do everything anymore, so you start asking what's actually worth it. That's where things really change. What matters in your 30s isn't speed, it's direction. It's not how much you're doing, it's whether the things you're doing are building the kind of life you actually want to live 10 years from now. The first area where this hits hard is money. When you're younger, you think it's about making more. But in your 30s, you start understanding that money is really about control. It's about options. Saving and investing aren't about being rich. They're about having freedom. Freedom to quit a toxic job, freedom to take a break without fear, freedom to help someone you care about. You stop chasing risky shortcuts and start building systems that work quietly in the background. Every small amount you save now saves you from stress later. You realize it's not about getting ahead of others, it's about not falling behind yourself. The same shift happens with your career. In your 20s, you take every opportunity just to prove you can handle it. In your 30s, you start saying no to things that don't fit. You stop trying to impress people who don't matter and start doing work that feels right. A job that drains you. No matter how impressive it sounds, isn't success. It's just slow burnout. What really matters is finding work that gives you energy instead of taking it. You don't need to climb the corporate ladder. If it's leaning against the wrong wall, you begin to care more about alignment than applause. And that's growth. Relationships also change. Your circle gets smaller, but it becomes more meaningful. You stop keeping people around just because of history or obligation. You value honesty, calmness, and consistency over excitement and noise. The friends who stay are the ones who help you grow. You learn that quality always beats quantity. Family becomes different too. You start seeing your parents as people, not just parents. And patience turns into a form of maturity. The time you spend with people who truly care about you becomes the most valuable investment you'll ever make. Health becomes the foundation for everything. You can't keep treating your body like it's indestructible. You start noticing how much sleep, food, and movement affect your focus, mood, and motivation. You realize that health isn't a side project. It's the operating system for your whole life. Small, consistent habits matter more than dramatic challenges. You move a little every day. You rest when you need to. You eat like you care about your future. And your mental health finally becomes something you take seriously. You can't just push through everything anymore. Ignoring stress turns into burnout. You stop treating rest like weakness and start seeing it as strategy. Time begins to feel different too. The days still feel long, but the years suddenly move faster. You start to see the difference between urgent and important. Most people spend their 30s, so you start creating boundaries that protect your peace, reacting to everything around them. Instead of building what actually matters, you begin to value time more than money. You stop trying to fill every moment with noise and start leaving space for thought, creativity, and recovery. That's where real progress happens. The same mindset shifts into your environment. You want your home to feel calm, not just look good. You care less about appearances and more about how things function. You clean your space, your schedule, and even your digital life. You unfollow people who drain your focus. You limit the noise. You realize that what you let into your world, physically and mentally, affects how you show up in it. Purpose starts to mean something new. You stop waiting for a single big mission to define your life. Instead, you find meaning in doing small things well. You learn that progress isn't about intensity, it's about consistency. The people who keep showing up, even on quiet days, are the ones who build something real. You also start understanding the value of enough. You don't need more to prove anything. You just need to make sure what you have actually matters. That realization brings a kind of calm that money can't buy. Everything starts connecting. When your health is steady, your mind is clearer. When your mind is clear, your work improves. When your work improves, you gain more freedom. When you have freedom, you spend more time with people who matter. Everything feeds into everything else. That's when you see that balance isn't about perfection, it's about integration. The truth is, your 30s aren't a crisis. They're a filter. You start letting go of things that never really mattered, and you start focusing on what does. It's not about having life figured out. It's about knowing what deserves your energy. That's the difference between running in circles and actually moving forward. If this hit home, take a second to like the video. It helps more people see it and join this conversation. And if you're working on building a better version of your 30s, subscribe for more grounded, real-world growth content like this. What matters most in your 30s is building a life that feels right to you, not one that just looks right to everyone else. That's where real success begins.